So, good morning. It's Tony at Casa Esmeralda. If you like my videos, please do like and subscribe. Hit that like button below. Uh, Happy New Year to everyone. I just wanted to show what it's like to live here in the Mediterranean Ionian Sea area of Southern Europe. So we got a little bit of snow, a little bit of dusting of snow this morning. 2018 was a really good year for me because I was able to do a lot of planting. I was able to do first time a lot of growing on the farm here, and just getting most of the infrastructure in to do planting and growing, and then have my own food. 2019 I will be working on such things as goats and getting more animals onto the farm, and then working on that sort of infrastructure thing. So I have a wide variety of food sources, or of cultivating sources and things that animal do to your soil. But right now, the goats are sort of hiding in the root cellar, so they've been kind of coming in and out. Here's Pippi. Here's Pippi, and she's pregnant, about 1 month now, as you can see, at least. So in spring I will be having at least 2 goats, or expecting 2 goats, because Ziggy has been doing birds and bees with Pippi, so I will have possibly 2 goats, and he's been doing birds and bees almost twice a day for a month with Pippi. So, and my dogs have been smelling Pippi, and dogs are very good. They can sense those certain things. And so now the goats are out, finally. Been waiting all morning since 5 o'clock for them to come out, because they've been kind of in and out, and I gave them some hay. So they've been just kind of chilling now, and actually since I came out here. Normally they're up and at 'em without the snow. This just happened this morning. I actually started after I got up at 5 a.m. Brushed off the greenhouse here. So there's a wide variety of food supply in the greenhouse. One of the goats jumped up on the greenhouse and broke one of the panels, but that's okay. No, that's not a broken panel from the snow, but all those things got fixed. I got some silicone, I got some duct tape. So I'm not too worried about the food supply, because it really is like, it was only like -1, and now the temperature is warming up, and it's very beautiful with the olive trees here, and it looks like the sun just wants to come out again. It kind of went behind the shadows, and I'm up here on the mountain, but down in the valley there's no snow. It's all green. It's just higher up here, so I'm about 150 meters up above sea level. So anywhere on the side, there are places that you can go skiing around here. The beehive is all strapped up and taped up and insulated with plastic, so hopefully the bees will survive. There's still a little gap opening because if the sun does come out, sometimes the bees, they decide to come out, but I think they're just going to eat away on the honey, so that's all good. So yeah, it's been snowing, and you can see like the olive trees here. It's absolutely beautiful. A little bit of change of scenery in my winter garden here. So Giuseppe's kind of inside the house. He's kind of waiting for the sun to come out, and Bruno's all excited because it's the first time for Bruno. He's 11 months old. This is Bruno. Bruno, you want to say hi to everyone? Bruno. And the chickens are really growing, so they stopped fighting. I actually didn't harvest my own chickens. They harvested themselves, and it seemed like 23 hens was a little this coop was a little too small for 23 hens, but now I'm at 17, So I kind of came home and I see them fighting, and then about a half hour later I always had like one dead chicken. So they stopped fighting with each other, which was great, and I think they're now like sort of like being to a comfortable state, like 15 or 17 hens for a coop this size. So all the money and time I would have put into building a new coop, it probably would have been really worth it this year, and then that's what I was waiting on. Yeah, so if I get a jump to 50 hens, yes, then I'm going to need a larger coop, which I actually want to do. So, but it's all good. I put some hay down for them this morning, so they're going to be in their coop, and the chickens are very sociable and they're looking for something to do. So they're all just kind of taking it easy. Let's see if we can open some gates up here. There we go. There they are. So the black ones I said before are the Australians, and then the all white ones and the light brown are now a mix of Australian and Italian. So, and Pippi's on me here. Yeah. So, and they're actually starting to lay eggs, and I'm getting, still in this weather, I'm getting about between 1 and 3 eggs a day, which is amazing. But I changed the feed, and I boosted their potassium, magnesium, and linseed. And those are possibly the 3 things you want to try to boost your egg production. But as I said, like I crossed Australian with Italian hens now, and they're actually laying, because I've had sort of a white-brown egg, and I know it's these white. I know it is these white-brown Italian, Australian, Australorp cross chickens. So I've created a new breed here of chickens. I don't have a name for them yet. And Pippi and the goats are kind of curious to see what they're eating and stuff. So they're all farm animals, and they all share the same feed, and they're all eating of the same organic feed. So, which is all good. So I'm gonna let the chickens be and kind of let them keep themselves busy in there. You guys gonna come out? Okay, let's go, guys. Let's go. Come on. You can't stay in the coop there. Okay, out, 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 out. There you go. Come on. I leave the chickens alone. I put some hay down for them so they can get their coop all organized, and then they'll be all happy. So as you can see down in the valley, it's all green, and just above, it's absolutely beautiful, and almost looks like on the other side, the higher farmlands there, looks like you can almost do some skiing. So this snow only comes for about 2 or 3 days here, and then it goes away. So I'm lucky I have well water. This is the one time, so there's 2 times a year during the July-August drought, possible drought season, and winter time, that if you have a well here, then you have usable water. So yeah, so there is some water down there. It's about 2 meters of water, which is okay for last me. Like if I run out of water, emergency water, then I will be okay. So that's all good. This is just rainwater here, and it's already 3/4 of the way, so we got lots of rain. And that's the thing, is that if you have lots of rain here, you don't have very many olives. You need a very hot summer, over 40 degrees Celsius. There's some orange trees growing. I've been eating a lot of oranges down in my grove there. There's still some oranges growing here. So this is all good. And then these are after the snow period, this is when the oranges get really sweet and very juicy. And these are the navels, and I have navels, I have mandarins, I have tangerines. And yeah, so I've eaten some off of this tree, So this tree's kind of hanging in there. This Nespoli has died of ants. So my goats love the Nespoli tree. They've eaten most of the leaves off of the one on my terrace. But this Nespoli has almost died because it hasn't been giving me any leaves in a year. I'm deciding what to do and just leave it. And on the fig tree, as you can see, all the leaves have fallen off. In the springtime, this tree will start growing leaves, and by the end of the summer, on this fig tree, the leaves will be growing and growing and growing. And right now, this is just the winter scene of everything. So I'm contemplating on whether or not I should actually go walk down there. I've harvested in my first year when I was here. I did harvest firewood down there, and it was very slippery and it's easy to fall, and it was just that I didn't have some of the conveniences that I did have now. So it's very slippery and easy to fall. And actually I sent my chainsaw in for service, and down there is my orange grove, but I got enough oranges in my house. So I got enough firewood up here for 2 or 3 days, so I'm okay. It'll warm up around here. So this year I will be working on more infrastructure on the farm and just getting it all around animals, as I said, and working on planting and growing. Possibly I'll be having the bananas will be coming. So the greenhouse is better infrastructure this year because I had a lot more hay from the farmer, and then the ground, there's all hay and everything, so that as the hay composts itself and goes off, I don't want to open it up. As the hay composts, it's giving off the heat off the ground. So even as you can see, like the chickens, as they realized yesterday and the day before, I guess the chickens are very good at being the local weathermen, and they were all in here and they were kind of scratching because they normally don't come in here. And then, oh boy, my winter fennel. Well, oh boy, my winter fennel so is gone. But I do have some growing in the greenhouse. I'm gonna have to wait and see what's gonna happen out of this. Maybe this winter fennel, because it is an Austrian seed, will survive. I should have put some hay on this when it was actually snowing this morning, and do the root stout method. There was only a few fennels in here. So, and then the garlic and everything. So the garlic, and there was some potato and stuff I pulled yesterday, and then I replanted it in the greenhouse. So there was some of it I saved, and I was kind of saying, well, the fennel survived. Like last year, my neighbor down the other side, he planted fennel and it did snow and the fennel survived. So I'm kind of doing a test run on this Austrian seed, which is a very hardy seed of fennel. And my goats, one of my goats, the male goat, he jumped up here because he's one time he jumped up on the roof on the house. And yeah, so, but it hasn't snowed in here, so I gotta fix this today or see what I can do to get this fixed or get a panel. So there are certain things I want to get done. So that's how everything looks like right now. The wind generator last night was actually going, and the wind, and it was saying, yeah, it was gonna snow, it was getting nippy and stuff. The wind was just coming and blowing. Gotta wait for the sun to come out a bit, and then I can get snow off the panels, but the panels are at a good degree angle. So all good. Still got solar power, still got some battery. Jeep's covered in snow. Normally I park the Jeep in here, but what happens is the goat figured out a way to jump on top of the Jeep and then onto the roof here and then onto the house. So got enough heat supply for the winter to really ride this out. And if it does get any worse where I get a foot of snow here, I'm pretty hunkered down in itself, so I will be okay. But absolutely gorgeous looking at these trees and covered in snow. So only thing here is most of the towns are all high up on a mountain or hillside. There's very few towns except the ones on the seashores, on the sea, like in the countryside here. All the towns are built up on mountains or hillsides, so it's an absolute catastrophe nightmare to actually go driving into town. I'm still contemplating whether or not to drive into town today or just stay home and sit around the fire, I guess, and use a little bit of solar heating at the same time, which I'm using now. So, and I got the pellet stove as a backup, so I got a lot of heating backups here. If the wood gets wet, then I can go to the pellet stove or the solar heating and things like that. And the sun should come out about midday, so when the sun comes out about midday here briefly for an hour, I should still get some solar power. Then I'll just crank up the solar heating really high for an hour, and that will keep the house warm for about 3 hours. And then after that, just light the fire. So you guys having a nice time, hey? You like this weather? Okay, well, and if anybody wants wine bottles and jars, because I'm not into wine making, or I'm just going to keep them, I guess I could sell some of these for like one. I could sell like 3 of these or something like that, because I possibly would only need 3 of the large ones, which I'm not selling, but the smaller ones for winemaking, these are great. These are the classic Italian glass blown ones, and these are like from the 1980s. These are very, very nice. They don't really make these ones anymore. There are very few glass blowers that make these, and they do cost a lot. So send me a private message if you're interested in any winemaking jars, jugs. I'm gonna go inside and warm up because I don't have the Canadian boots with me. Back in the Casa Small, the kitchen. Ooh. Oh, it's nice and warm in here. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to end the video here. I think I showed my new, haven't done a lot of work around here because I'm really, after 2.5 years, I'm really settled into the place. And there's just a few odds and ends that need done. It would be nice to have some extra lighting behind here. But this is what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to lighting up this big thing, this big fireplace here, and sit it on the log and use the internet and do some work that way. So I hope you like my videos. It's Tony at Casa Esmeralda. Please hit that like button below. I hope you enjoyed this video of my winter garden, and I hope I've inspired you to go outside and do some planting, do some growing. Unfortunately, I could not show you the food inside the greenhouse because I want the heat to stay inside the greenhouse, stay at a nice temperature, so if the frost comes, everything's going to die. But I harvested enough food. Yeah, so I made chicken soup again last night, and I'll be making pizza and breads in the oven today. So as the fire will be going possibly for half a day, so that's possible. Okay, so take care. Bye for now, and thanks again for those who have liked and subscribed. And let's hope that 2019 will be also a good year as it was in 2018. Happy New Year, and take care. Bye for now.